Okay, so in this one, what we're going to do is we are going to rig this character. Basically, this character is already a bunch of pieces, you can see. So, and they are all symbols. You can see all the names of the symbols on the side here. And we are going to use, in the previous ones that I did, we did it through the asset warp and we did it through parenting. In this case, we're going to actually just do it through the bone tool, okay, which is actually my preferred method, even though it's actually the oldest method. Okay. So what we're going to do first is I'm just going to take this whole thing and more or less separate it out so I can see all the pieces, and then we'll go from there. So I'm just going to take his arm off and then this arm like so. All right, and we'll just go like that, we'll say. Take this, oops, we'll leave the chest where it is. Take this arm, move that over, over, and over. Take the leg and this and that. Doesn't really matter if they're going off the cam or the stage right now because you're not going to see it anyway. So we'll take this down as well. I'm going to take the neck, or I guess we'll put this over there, this over there, that there. We'll put his pupils over here and his eyes right next to it, and his neck there. Okay, I think we got all the pieces. Okay, the other thing I'm going to need besides all these pieces here is I'm also going to need to make a symbol that's going to hold, it's sort of a placeholder. It puts a barrier between the two so it forms the way that we want. So to do that, I'm just going to go ahead and I'm just going to make an empty symbol. So I'm just going to go ahead and do no stroke. And for the color, we're just going to make it red, red, and I'm just going to make a little circle, okay? Like that. That's fine. That's probably bigger than it needs to be. Good. And then we're just going to select it and hit F8 or go to Modify, Convert to Symbol. And it went over here. And we're just going to call this null. All right. And it's just there as kind of a in-between, you'll see. It's just like an empty group if you're familiar with nulls at all. All right. So I'm going to take that and then we need to put it in between and then we'll go from there. Okay. So right off the bat, what I want to do is on my hips, I want one between the hips and my chest. Okay. And then what I can do is just grab it here and I want one between the chest and my neck. And then I also want one that's going to be at the tip of my head. Okay. So it's going to go here to there, to there, to there, to neck, to head. Okay. If you don't have a neck, you can just put one between the head and the chest and then one at the top. That was fine. Then I'm also going to want one, I'm just going to hold Alt this time, click and drag and put one here, and I'll put one here. So basically at the base of my arms, as well as the tip of my arms. And I want to do the same thing for the legs. Base of the legs, okay, and the tip of the legs, or the toes. Okay, good. So now I have all the pieces there, and what we're going to do is we're just going to hook them all up using the bone. Now, if for some reason your bone tool is not here, it's probably not. By default, it isn't. Click on the ellipse, edit toolbar, and you'll see it right here. So if I click and drag it right there, you just got to click and drag it over here, and then you'll have access to it. Click this, and it goes away. All right, let's go ahead and, okay, yeah, there's no tool size. All right, so we're going to go ahead, and we're just going to start doing this. So I'm going to basically put this at the base. I'm going to drag to that circle. I'm going to go from the circle to, we'll say here. I'm going to go from here to this circle. I'm going to go from here to, and I want to try and put these where the pivots are. Another thing that's happening that I'm not a big fan of is snapping. So I always love it that it just turns on snapping no matter how many times you turn it off. All right. Okay, good. So then from here to the head, and then from the head to the tip of the head. Okay, so like that. Right up the chain. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go from here to this arm one. So I'm going to click here to here, and here to the arm pivot, here to the elbow pivot, and here to the wrist pivot, and then here to that end piece. Same thing on the other side. Click on this, click and drag, click and drag, click and drag, click and drag, click and drag. Okay? Same thing on the legs. So the legs come from this one. So we're going to click and drag to here, click and drag to there, click and drag to here, click and drag to there, click and drag to there, click and drag to here, click and drag to here, click and drag to there, click and drag to there, and click and drag to here. All right, so we got all those pieces done except for the head here. So we're just going to go ahead and get those. So these all just go right to the head. So I'm just going to click and drag to this. And this is just so that they're parented. We're not going to really animate these. They'll just be, you know, what they are. So we'll just do one of these eyes and one of these pupils should be good enough. All right, good. So now what I need to do is, you might have noticed, is that it doesn't look quite great, and that's because the pivots are all it's dismantled. So we're going to move them all. So to move all of them, what we're going to do is just grab the let me see, click off. Okay, and then we're going to click back off again, go to the pre-transform, and we're just going to take these and move them. Okay, so I'm going to get in closer here, just holding Control and scrolling in my wheel. You can also Command Control plus. Okay, so first I'm going to take this. This has got to be kind of where I want the shoulders to be. So I'm just going to put this, let's say, here. Then we'll grab this guy. I'm going to put this roughly where I want it, which was right here. All right, middle mouse button clicking and dragging, but you can also just hold the space bar. I'm going to take this guy, put this one where I want it, which was there. Take this one, put this where I wanted it, which was right there. You can see some of the, and then this should be at the tip of the hand. I can move that afterwards. Let's go ahead and grab this guy, and actually, you know what, let's move this first. So we'll move this down, we'll say to right about there. Then take this guy, move him roughly, we'll say there. We might want to move that pivot. I'll show you how to do that afterwards. We might move some of these. So actually, let's grab the back. Okay, let's move this guy again. I want to move this guy down a little bit more so he's out of the way. Then move this down. Okay, that's better. It's not great, but it'll do. Okay. All right, so then we want to move these. So I'm going to move this, we'll say here. This one, we'll say here. And then move this guy to here. Move this guy to here. We might move some of these afterwards because they're not quite where I was picturing them being. And then this has got to go to the tip here. Same thing here. This guy to this spot. This guy to this spot. This guy to this spot. And this guy to the tip of the foot, like so. These are actually off a little bit. You want them actually like on the tip of the foot. So this should go right, we'll say there. All right. And, oh, because I must have moved something. So we're going to move this down. Ugh, this is annoying. I wonder if I can grab all of these. Can I grab all of these? I can. Are you still selected? Okay, good. So let's unselect that one. Select this. Okay, we'll move all these at the same time. That's better. Okay. So let's go ahead. We'll grab this one, put that there, grab them both. I'm just holding Shift and clicking. Shift click. Okay. Put that there. Good. Hold Shift click. And we'll put this here. Click on that guy. Click on this guy. There we go. Grab all of that. Put that there. Good. Okay. Now let's do this, and this can go here. I feel like these should have been parented to that. Oh well. Okay. Grab this guy. Put that roughly where the neck's supposed to be. And the head goes here, roughly. This is good if you have like a drawing. I don't really have one. Put the brow where the brow is supposed to be. I do have a drawing. Oh, I don't have it in here though. Put this at the tip of the head. Beak goes where the beak goes, as they say. And then I'm just going to get a little closer here so I can grab these guys. Eyes go here. And pupils go inside the eyes. Good. Okay. And let's see. Good. Now you might notice that the red dots are kind of annoying. So what's nice about it is that they are all symbols derived from the same one. So if I go to my library, I can double click on it here, or if I double click on it here, it's the same as just grabbing it. All I'm going to do is, while I have it selected, click on this and make the alpha, make it 100% not visible. And then when I click back out, you'll see none of them are actually visible anymore. And so we have basically invisible circles that you can't see. Now, what we can do from here is I can grab this tool, and now I can bend these things. Now, you're going to see it doesn't work quite the way that I want. See how it's kind of wiggling? And this is why we put those in between ones. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab this bone here, and then I'm going to go to the properties of it, and we are going to go down to joint rotation and just turn that off. And now I can rotate this, but notice that that does not rotate. And I'm going to do the same thing over here. Click on this guy and turn off joint rotation. Okay. And if I grab the end, you'll see, ooh, right? We can basically bend this, but it doesn't affect before it. And if I go like this, you can see, oop, we need the same thing here as well. So we're going to grab this one, and we're going to turn joint rotation off. And then let's see, if I grab this, it should move the whole, oh, it's moving the brow. Grab the wrong one. He's moving the brow. This is going to be a little annoying, but oh, there's his head. That's weird. That's not even where I was clicking. Let's see. That's going to be kind of annoying. I wonder if I can just grab this guy. So that's not even doing what I was hoping for. Anyway, let's see. There we go. And so, yeah, then we can rotate this, and you can see we can rotate his head. And that's pretty exciting stuff. Great. Okay. We want to do the same thing here. So see how like that's just whole thing's moving. So we're just going to grab this one. Can I do both at the same time? And turn joint rotation off. And then there you go. Now we can move those. All right. And if we grab the end, you can see that it is thusly set up. Okay. Now, one thing you might also want to do, it's kind of up to you, but you might notice that this leg should not be able to bend that way, right? I mean, theoretically, hopefully not. So what you might want to do is on this one, you can go to the joint rotation and put in a constraint. So right now, I do not know which way. Okay, so left offset, that's probably this side. So we'll put that, we'll do minus, I'd say 180, right? So let's see, what does that give me? Okay, it was the opposite of what I thought. So let's click back on this. We want to do, let's say minus 20. So there's a little bit, and then we'll do 180 here. So now we can straighten this up a little bit more, but it can only really bend this way. Basically the whole way. Right? So that kind of keeps us from accidentally kicking our leg off too far that way. We'll do the same thing on this one. Constrain. Let's do minus 20 and 180. All right. And then here, I think, you know, that's probably too far, so we could probably constrain this one as well. Let's grab both, and let's go to the constraint. And let's see, right now it's 45 and 45. It actually might not be too terrible. Let me see. Yeah, let's leave it on 45. Works for me. Same thing here. Grab these, and probably the same thing. So we'll do constraint, minus 20, and we'll do 180. And that should allow us to bend not in the direction I wanted. Right? So yeah, so we got to do the opposite. So go here, grab these both, and we're going to do minus 180 and 20. Okay, and now when we go to bend them, they'll go this way, but they won't really be able to go back. That sort of thing. And then let's grab these, and I'm going to constrain those, but I think these should be able to go farther. So let's do minus 60 by, let's say, 60. Let's see how far that lets me go. That's probably pretty good. And you kind of get the idea. All right, so now we can thusly animate our guy doing all the things. Oh, I got to put up. So if you look, this one right here also needs to not have rotation, because otherwise what ends up happening is when I go to rotate this, yeah, that's better. It doesn't rotate the way that I was expecting it to. Okay. Now, if for some reason, yeah, see, his head would have been better served not rotated. So we'll grab this one and also turn off joint rotation. There we go. And that way his head, this doesn't get, that's a little weird. I keep grabbing the wrong thing. Okay. All right, so there you go. So now we've rigged this guy. Yeah, so if for some reason you don't like the pivots, like you're like, oh man, the pivots need to be in a different spot, all you have to do is go to the free transform tool. So like, I don't really like the pivot, for instance, where this is. It feels too much that side. So I go to free transform tool. If you move the pivot of the object, like so, watch, when I click off, let's click off and click back on, that is now the pivot of the bone. So you can actually move the pivots just based off of the, but moving the pivots move the joint location, okay, as well. So it's one and the same. So hopefully that makes sense. You will notice that now it's on its own layer. So all those sub layers that were in there are now gone, as well as it is a green span. So it's not like a classic tween or a motion tween or a shape tween. It's its own thing. It's it's a lot like a motion tween, to be honest, but it's a different style. So you'll see it's called armature. That's basically it. So for the lab, it'll let you, oh, actually one other thing too. So you may have noticed that the things might not move in the direction that you wanted. So hang on. I need one other aspect here. So if I move this, okay, that's moving in front, that's fine. But notice that this hand is in front of this, and I didn't want it that way. So all you got to do is select that object, and then go to Modify, Arrange, and then you can see Bring Forward, Send Backwards. So Control and Down, and Control and Up. So what I'm going to do is have this selected. I'm going to do Control, probably Command and Down. There we go. And then this looks like this is entirely behind. That's fine, but if you look, see the hands in front of that, that's no good. So we're going to take the hand, and I'm going to do Control Down. Oops, I hit Shift Down. And so I'm going to do Control Down. Let me see. I grabbed the wrong piece there. It's got to go more. So Control Down. Keep hitting Shift. Let's try this again. Still not enough. Okay. Control Down, 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 Down. And let's see. Still not good enough. Okay. Well, let's keep doing it. Control Down, 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 Down. There's also Send Back to the back. But, you might want this in front of that leg, though. It's just if his arms, but if his arms go back, that's not going to be good. So let's just keep trying. Control Down, 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 Down. All right, and still no good. Okay, so let's take this and do Control Up, Up, Up. Oops, that's too far. Okay, one down. There we go. Okay, so we must have been right on the line there. Okay, good. And then I'm just going to make sure that this leg goes in front of that, and it does, so that's good. All right, so I think all the pieces. So you might need to rearrange the parts as well. And eventually what we'll do is I'll show you how to use the frame picker here so we can swap between with our animation, which is one of the preferences here. All right, so you should rig your character something like that, and then just save it. So that's it. All right, good luck.